Hi, this is Nexa Fashion. You're welcome if this is your first time of bumping on my channel. So today this is what we are going to be doing, a flare dress with tiered layers down there. So this is the measurement we are working with: shoulder 16 divided by 2, which is 8. Yeah, so and then the bust point is 36. If you divide that by 4 to give you 9, and the waist is 32, you divide it by 4 and it gives you 7.25. Those are the basic measurements we'll be working with. Okay, so I've gone ahead to rule out the zipper allowance of 2 inches. The zipper allowance, because I'm going to be drafting this front and back on the same paper, on the same pattern paper. So I've started already. Our shoulder, as we have already said, is 8. So put it down at the starting point. If you notice, we have ½ inch up there for the starting point. So coming down, I brought down that same 8 inches. Okay, so that it will be on the same straight line. And then from there, I'm trying to get the round measurement for the round this armhole. So as you know, the calculation for the bust for the shoulder is 36. So we have 36, we divide it by 6, and then we plus 1.5. That will give us the depth of the armhole. 36 divided by 6 plus 1.5, so it gave us 7.5. So I'm going to put down 7.5 on the same straight line there, and then I'll come down there by 1 inch. That means I'm adding 1 inch, which makes it 8.5. And then I'll use my my ruler to draw the line. That will be where we're going to have our curve, armhole curve. So the bust point already we know is 9, like that's 36 divided by 4 is 9. So I'm putting down the 9 on that line. Okay, yeah, on that line, as you see me do. So I'm using a ruler to bring, to connect the 8 inches for the shoulder. So that 9 inch is going to form our armhole curve. So I'm trying to do the shoulder slope. So that 1 inch I added down there is going up for the is going out, sorry, for the shoulder slope. So I'm marking 3 inches for the wideness of the neck, and then I'm using my ruler to connect it to give me the shoulder slope. Yeah, so to get the armhole curve for the front, don't forget we're doing both front and back. For the front, 7.5, you divide it by 2. Okay, you just fold the ruler in 2 like that, and whatever it gives you, you put it down. Give us 3.25, something like that. So you put it down there, mark it, and then you come inwards by ½ inch, inwards, not outwards. Then you use the ruler to connect it in a slanty manner, and then that 9 inch with that ½ inch, you connect that will give us the armhole curve. Okay, so we are back. I've already drawn the lines. I didn't know that my camera was not capturing, so I drew the line for the chest, sorry, for the bust, length of the bust, which is 10 inches. Yeah, 10. I actually marked it on my paper. And then the half length, which is 15 inches. Yeah, so if you see it on my paper, you see that it is 15 inches. So I came down by 15 inches at the waist, and then I connected it like that. Here I'm trying to get the nipple to nipple point, which is 4 inches. So I connected it from the bust point down to the waistline like that. And then on that place, I came down by 1 inch or about 1 inch. And then I'll now mark half inch on both sides. We're taking just 1 inch for the dart. So 1 inch for both sides. Then I rule the line down from that 1 inch down there, up there, I mean, to that half inch down there. Yes, so that's how to do it. So when you come to your fabric, you take exactly 1 inch for your dart measurement. Okay, so I'm trying to put down the round measurement. We have already had the 9 inch for the bust. So for the waist, we're going to get 7.25 because the waist is 32. Yeah, so I marked it down there and then I connected it from the chest line, that is from the armhole curve. But before I did that, I added 1 inch for the dart intake. Okay, that will replace the dart. So I connected it up there, and then I'm going to add allowance to both the upper part and the lower part, and I'm using 1.5 inch as the allowance. 1.5 inches, okay, as the allowance. And then I'm using the tape rule, or sorry, the French curve, the straight part of the French curve, to connect it like that. And then there I'm trying to get the armhole curve for the back. Yes, the armhole curve for the back. You simply just connect from that 9 inch of the bust measurement. You just connect it upwards with a curve at that angle, and then that is all. That's just how to do it for the back. Yeah, so I'm trying to draw the wideness of the neck. Yes, I'm doing it at 4.5. Yes, I'm doing it at 4.5. And then I'm coming down. I wanted to do 6 inches. If you check the neckline, it's a little bit down, but I later made it 5.5 because I remember my client said she doesn't want it to be too deep. So I'm putting the same wideness of 4.5 there to connect there, so that it will enable me to, the neck is a four corner, but I can't do it I can't do it like, I don't want it to be very sharp at the corner. So I want to have a little curve there, a little curve. The curve I did there was a little bit too outwards, so I wanted to go back to the angle. I want it to be closer to the angle, like the curve should be closer to the angle. That's what I was trying to do, so just watch closely. So that is it. I went back down there. Okay, so if you are new to this channel and you have not subscribed, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to my channel. So down there, I'm trying to add 1 inch allowance down there. So it is going to serve as the allowance for the stitching, and also to differentiate the back length with the front length. The back length and the front length are not the same. The back is usually either 1 inch or 1.5 inches shorter than the front. So I added 1 inch down there. And then after adding 1 inch, I am going to now connect from the dart. Yes, I'm going down from that place down there to connect to that 1 inch. Okay. And then I will slant. Yes, just look at what I did. From where we have the measurement there, I will slant and connect it to close to where we have the dart. Yes, that is how we're going to do it, close to where we have the dart. So this red line is showing the back length by the time I come to cut it, and the blue line is showing the front length. Okay, I'll be using the same paper to cut both front and back. Okay, so thank you. And then here I actually thought that was the half length, I forgot that the half length was down there, like the waistline was down there. So I'm trying to take out half, yeah. So I'm trying to take out half inch from the zipper allowance to avoid bulginess by the time I fix the zipper at the back. Just look at it. I'm taking out half inch down there. Then I'll connect it upwards to the neckline. I'll connect it upwards to the neckline like that. Okay. So, and then up there, I'm adding half inch allowance so that the dress doesn't become too tight by the time we fix the front and back pieces at the shoulder together. Okay. And then, yeah, so I'm trying to cut out. That is all for drafting the piece of the pattern. I'm trying to cut out that zipper bulginess out. So you cut it out, and then you begin to just follow the lines that I'm cutting. You don't cut on the red line because we're going to use the piece to cut, sorry, we're going to use the paper to cut the front piece first. So you cut on the allowance. I put the allowance so that we don't have to come and be adding allowance by the time we are cutting on the fabric, because there is a way fabrics behave. Yeah, so you cut that out. Okay. Okay, so I'm trying to understand. Okay, I'm trying to place the back neckline because I'm not using the same neckline for the front. I'm trying to, to get the number. Okay, so I actually wanted to use 8, but I later reduced it to 7.5 so that by the time I, you know, do the stitching, the half will go for the stitching and it will later become 8 inches. So I'm trying to curve it down. It's the same kind of neckline, both front and back. Yeah. So I'm trying to cut out the front neckline first. Then we cut the front piece before we now cut out the back neckline and then cut the back piece. So that is it for the pattern, both front and back together. Okay, so I'm trying to layer the fabric. I'm trying to get the part that is not stretchy so that I'll make it to be at the length part, because I don't want the length to be stretchy, because this is they call it lycra. It's a lycra material and it stretches. So I'm trying to get the part that doesn't stretch much, and then I'll use it for the length. And then you put in the zipper allowance like this, because you're going to cut the front piece and this part is going to be on fold. Yes, this part is going to be on fold. The fabric I used for this dress, for this color, I used this milk color. I think I used 2.5. Yes, I used 2.5 yards for this, and then the other color, the orange color, is 1.5. Because I used orange color, I couldn't get the coffee brown, so we used that one. Okay, so I'm trying to show that I'll first of all cut the armhole using the back armhole curve, then I will later come and cut out the front armhole. Okay, I will later come and cut out the front armhole. So this is it. I'm trying to cut the front carefully. Okay, you have to be very careful because the fabric is a bit wavy and stretchy, and all that. So you cut the I was cutting the down part carefully. Okay, so if you have come this far, can you please give me a like, share the video to others or other people that might need it. Thank you, and God bless you. So I'm going to remove the back neckline. I'll cut it out. The back is supposed to be deeper. That is how she wants it. So I'm cutting the back piece like this. Okay, the back neckline like this. Cut it out, and then we cut down that down part. Yes, so we are cutting that place down, that down part, so that the difference of the front and the back piece will be that 1 inch. Okay, so that is it. I have placed it on the fabric already and pinned it down with pins so that it doesn't move around by the time I'm cutting. Yeah, so thank you for watching the video to this far, like this far. Thank you for the support. So I'm trying to see the angle which I'm going to use to cut this out. That side is towards the wall, so I'm not really comfortable. I had to come to the front of the camera. Okay, so that is it. So now I'm going to I'm just trying to cut out that bulginess at the zipper area. And that is it. We have our piece together. Okay, so this is the time where I'm going to take out the front armhole. I'll cut the front armhole out like you see me do, and then I'll place it back on. I'll bring back the front piece, place this on top of it, and cut it out. Okay, so if you have come this far and you are curious to see the next part of this video, okay, I'm going to attach the link to the next part of the video on this video, where we're going to see the stitching part of the video. Thank you.